U.S. Senator Mike Rounds joins us now in studio today for First at 4. Thank you for taking the time, Senator.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah. The Wounded Knee Massacre Memorial and Sacred Site Act passed the U.S. Senate yesterday, and this act would preserve this land as a sacred memorial site, ban commercial development on it. The U.S. Army killed around 250 Native American people at this location on the Pine Ridge Reservation in 1890. The victims included women and children. Senator Rounds, what is your message to the president as he considers signing this legislation?
This is the right thing to do in terms of reconciliation. It's the right thing to do for the people of South Dakota to send a message that the tribes themselves want to be able to control this 40-acre tract of land, but they want to put it in a trust to where it would literally take the Secretary of the Interior to be able to sell it in the future. But this way it stays in perpetuity. This is where their family members died. And for them, it is a very special location. And I think this is part of a healing process that we go through in South Dakota. And it's one of those things that I think the tribal members themselves feel very strongly about. Two different tribes working together, the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe and the Oglala Sioux Tribe. Both, their chairman, their members, have worked together to take this location where this massacre occurred and literally to be able to hold it together between the two tribes. This has taken years to put together, but part of the message is this is the right thing to do. And I think President Trump cares about these types of things. And so I'm optimistic that President Trump will sign it into law. And I think it helps to tell part of the story in the West. You know, George Mickelson talked about reconciliation. It's one thing that we talk about it, but every once in a while we need to rekindle that. This is one more opportunity to rekindle what I believe to be a very important aspect, which is, you know, broadening those relationships, but also saying, look, we agree with you. This location here, at your request and in consultation with you as tribes, this place should become a very special place, a place that will be held in reverence for decades to come.
So then has this legislation come to fruition in consultation with the tribes?
Absolutely. In fact, the tribes came to us and said, this is what we want to do. We've joined together because there were relatives from both tribes, both the Cheyenne River tribe and also the Oglala tribe, that were killed there. And so it was in 1890, and it was actually on December 29th of 1890.
Coming up on the anniversary.
Coming up very close to 135 years ago. And in the past, you know, they've debated what should be done. They've tried to negotiate for the purchase of the land. These tribal chairmen and the president have come together. They've got the support of their tribes. They'll take this 40-acre tract and they will hold it in trust between the two tribes. And that way, they know that they want it to be there for a long time to come. And they want it to be a focal point to realize that, you know, this is a part of our history that we also have to talk about.
In other Washington developments, we saw the president announcing $12 billion in one-time payments to farmers. What would you like to see happen with regard to recurring permanent help for farmers impacted by tariffs and the trade war and different variables like that?
I think President Trump really wanted to try to find a way to make trading with our partners fairer than what it is today. And in doing so, he says, look, I'm going to put tariffs out there because I don't think we're being treated right. In doing that, some of the other countries look back at it and they said, well, we buy some of your ag products, and so we're going to put tariffs on those, or we're not going to buy them at all. The president came back and said, okay, I get it. In the meantime, since you're on the tip of the spear here, I want to put money aside specifically to help you during this short-term period of time until we can actually get these trading agreements in place. So he put $12 billion aside, an additional $12 billion aside, to say, look, for row crop operators and so forth that have felt the fact that your prices are down right now, we want it to be short term. But the president says, I feel it, I'm aware of it, and I want to put this money into it. You've been great supporters. You know, you're the folks that are producing in America, and I want your products to be sold overseas. But short-term pain, we want to take part of that away. I don't think there's any of us in Washington, D.C. that don't realize that what we really need are markets. And we need markets that they go up, open competition, and the ability to market worldwide. We can produce it, but we've got to have the right kinds of laws in place to make sure that we have access to markets around the world. And I think that's what President Trump wants to do here.
In international developments, we see Venezuela and interactions in the Caribbean as a hotspot right now. An oil tanker was seized. Bluntly, Senator, do you support U.S. military involvement in Venezuela?
There's two different parts to this, but I will tell you, I support what the president is doing when he takes that oil tanker. That money is going to terrorists. There's no question about that. We know where the money is going. It's going to Iran. And there is no way that we want Iran to have that oil. And we most certainly don't want Iran's money coming back into terrorist organizations. So I fully support being able to take that tanker. That's absolutely correct. The other piece on this is it's been a long time before somebody's actually said, we're going to fix this problem with drugs coming into the United States. The president says, I'm tired of it. We're going to go after them. These are narco-terrorist organizations. They've been identified as such. What I don't think people realize is just how sophisticated these narco-terrorists really are. They've got weapons like very few of the military in those countries actually have. They are sophisticated. They've got lines of communication. They've got banking capabilities. These are really bad dudes. And this is where they're getting this, and they're bringing it into the United States, and they are killing Americans. So I fully support knocking off and getting rid of that drug trafficking opportunity that occurs right now by boat. And once again, there's going to be some still coming across the border. We've shut down the border. The president was correct in shutting down the border. Now they're trying to get in by water. So now let's get the drugs out. Let's stop that drug operation down there and let those people that live in those countries that right now are subject to this terrorist groups that actually run those countries. Let's get it back to where they can actually have democracies again themselves.
There's a finite amount of time. There's one other question I wanted to ask you. You've taken an interest in AI over the years, I know. And we saw a news development along those lines this week in Washington as well. The president signing an executive order to prevent a state from making its own AI regulations. What's your take on that as we continue to try to navigate sort of uncertain waters with AI?
I looked at what the president did. I think he's correct in what he's doing. Now, here's the reason why. We can't have 50 different laws across the country operating on something which is really international, but interstate commerce really as well. Congress needs to do its part. We've been slow in doing our part. We have not put together the appropriate types of laws that protect kids from what is happening right now in social media. And IA, unfortunately, is a part of that. That's the bad part that people see. There's good parts that people really haven't seen the benefits of yet. And I tell people, you're going to see, because when we talk about this intelligence, this artificial intelligence, it's not going away. We're in competition with China. The United States has to win this, because this is what will drive our weapon systems. This is what will protect us from their weapon systems. This is where we will get the data to actually make our businesses move faster than theirs. It's also going to make the workers that we have much more capable of doing other things as well. And then finally, the part that I really care about and that I think Americans will care about is what it will do for healthcare, because it will improve the quality of life for Americans. Every family out there that suffered with people that have had diabetes in their family, Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, and major cancers. We can cure the vast majority of those cancers if we put the investment and the research into the artificial intelligence that's going to be developed. If we develop it in the United States, then we will drive the stability of it. We will drive the norms that it's produced around. If China wins the battle with us and it's their rails that everything is built on, then the chances are it will be more along the lines of being able to take out the privacy that we have today. And that's the part that we should be very careful of. We do not want a police state the way that China has right now, and that's what they're using their AI for.
All right. Much appreciated coming on the show today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Of course.